Hello YouTube, DarkMedia here, and in today's video I wanted to talk about a little bit about the possibilities of modding when it comes to FIFA. For a while now I've been posting a few of the tutorials about different things and mods that you can edit and or create with FIFA games, and I thought I might expand on that and show you a few other things that are possible, because FIFA modding is not something that is a common knowledge like, for example, PES modding is. PES modding scene is quite large, and there is a lot of great and free patches and mods and different things that can expand and enhance your experience when it comes to that game. But that modding scene is so popular mainly because of the necessity that was presented with Konami's inability to acquire enough licenses and other things and features, as well as Konami's openness to allow such a thing to happen. And EA is quite known to not really care that much about its fans and audience, so you might not be aware that it is actually possible to mod even a game such as FIFA that's not even available, not even cracked, and it is that is achieved by these tools such as these FIFA mod manager and FIFA editor. This is the this tool is for creating mods, and this one is for applying and using those mods in your game. And it doesn't change anything when it comes to your account on Origin. You can still go online. It's not something that you will be banned for, although it is advised for you to not play online or Ultimate Team with mods. But that's not really what people that want to have mods really even use them for. It's mainly the career mode. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Show you a few mods that I use that really change the experience. For example, I'm playing Barcelona career mode right now, and Barcelona only have the La Liga funds assigned to them. So even when they play European competitions such as Champions League, they use the La Liga funds. So you can create your own funds such as this. This is the official fund for Champions League for Barcelona, and right here I created the numbers, and also I created the TTF for the names, for the letters. So that's possible, right? So you just need to override some other fonts, such as I use the Chinese League. You can also use simple little UI mods, such as I made this with the help of my friend. It removes, you see here this arrow. You can just put blank file in it and it will remove it. That arrow is for people that use CPU AI difficulty. It has over their heads this arrow, and I didn't like that, so even such small things are possible to be removed. These are the custom kits I made. So as you can see, you can make yourself custom kits. You don't have to be stuck with the default kits for 15 seasons. It's not really immersive experience, so you can make yourself each different kit for each different season, and you can even add, I made this tutorial twice already, that you can add kits. So this kit is basically the same as this one, it just has the red shorts, the fourth kit. This is gameplay mode, and I'll make a video about I'll play a match in next video showing you the enhanced gameplay mode by Captain Kid, and I will show in detail these features, but even that is possible to be modded, so you don't have to be stuck with the ugly scripted gameplay by EA. These are the Pfeiffer's faces, and this is for the different graphics add-ons such as the kits and logos for the unlicensed Italian clubs such as Lazio or Juventus, and banners and whatnot. Manager faces, new faces, it has close to 1,000 faces at this point. Tattoos, referee faces, turf mode, so you can even change the grass, optional faces. So, and you can also add on top of that individually if you so either you use multiple individual or you use a face pack like me, but you can on top of that add different individual faces that maybe face pack doesn't have. This is just licensed text. I edited the database so that in the game the Juventus is called Juventus in the menus and not Piemonte or whatever. But you can download, there's multiple of those licensed mods. You don't need to make that yourself, and this is the main thing that inspired me to create this video. The Realism mod by McK. So you might heard by Realism mod from Pfeiffer, and it's good. It has a lot of features, but I personally dislike some of the features it has, so this is a very good alternative, and I will show you in the game in a second what it actually achieves and does. Also, he makes scoreboard, so as you can see, you should only use, he mentions that, so that's informative. You should only use one of those for the respective league you play. So this mod, it adds the Spanish Cup and Super Cup scoreboard, and it really looks realistic and nice, and it's really well made. I'm gonna go ahead and start the game to show you the features of these mods, and particularly the Realism mod by McK, because it's really something that if you are a PC FIFA gamer, you should look into to improve your experience. I promise you, it changes the experience completely, for the better, of course. And I just want to spread awareness of that it is possible to mod despite the scene maybe not being so popular. It is possible, and as I said, it really adds flavor to your career mode experience. So for example, what the mod touches on is also how some clubs play. So as you can see in the scripted EA's career mode experience, all these clubs like Valencia or Real Betis would be here on top instead of Getafe, for example, and Espanyol, because it would just go roughly around the overall of each club, of obviously not counting your control team, but it will roughly create results for the teams based on their overalls. And what mod does is changes that so that it's a little bit more realistic. So clubs can have bad season. Valencia last season in my career, so this is the second season already for me, it finished 17, so only just above the relegation table, and the reason for that is also not only the poor performances, but they had a lot of injuries, so that is accounted in the results as well. You can also see the other leagues, for example, other leagues. So for example, the Premier League, in the base game, these top clubs such as Chelsea or Liverpool, City, they don't even drop games. And you can see here 11 matches in, they already dropped 1 or 2, and by the time the season is over, they will have a realistic amount of losses, 4 or 5 definitely. So it doesn't end up having top 3 clubs with 100 points and then bottom clubs with just like 7 points after 30th game. That's ugly and unrealistic, and but EA doesn't care, but obviously modders do, so that's also something that is fixed. Also, main thing that I also find important is the realistic transfers, and that also EA teams sell people players and they don't replace them, or they stack up on players. They end up with 4 right backs that are 80 plus overall and stuff like that, so this mod really fixes that as well. Actually, let me go by the fee so you can see. So as you can see, this summer transfer window, there wasn't even a transfer over 50. So this is these top 3 are the transfers affected by me, but first AI transfer right here, Tsiganko, is the 50 million. It's not even the outrageous sum. And as you can see, Sociedad, they sold a striker, so they replaced it with Terrier. Sanchez went to Villarreal, that's also realistic. And there is not a single outrageous transfer I found here, and I really looked for it. Trust me, I followed every single transfer to find and make fun of my friend the McK for missing that, but no, there's not an unrealistic transfer. Obviously some things cannot be affected, so let me find it. For example, let's see if it's one of these. No, it was cheaper transfer, so I can't show you right now. But Bilbao, for example, has their own rules when it comes to the recruiting of players. So they, it's not here, but it has its own rules when it comes to recruitment. It only recruits the Basque players, and that's something that even McK can really affect. I mean, it's club policy, it's not overall policy. So even when something like that happens, what you can do is you can go and use, for example, tool like this one, the live editor by Aranaktu. So I showed you a lot of videos with his cheat table, but he developed this one. This is the standalone. It doesn't require the, as you can see right here, it doesn't require the cheat engine. It just works natively. And here in player editor you can, for example, find, so what happened earlier in the season. That's what I wanted to show you, but I couldn't. Bilbao bought Meret, for example, so I just went here, search Meret, and then when here transfer player, obviously now it says Napoli because I brought him back, but it said Bilbao, and it was Bilbao's ID right here, 448. So I just changed it to Napoli's ID. I put the sum that was paid by Atleti for them, so they would have their funds back, and I put the contract for 60 months, so he would stay, and that was that. So you can even correct that, but as I said, that's really something that you won't really have to do often with this mod. Another thing that mod does is also creates realistic scenarios when it comes to players staying at the club. So EA usually when the contract is about to expire by the AI players, they just end up as free agents and they move a lot and unrealistically, and this mod makes it so that most players that are played, so some players that maybe are unsettled and they are on the bench and they want to play, they will end up free agents, but the players that play, they usually signed extensions. So yeah, as I said, also mod modifies a little bit the expectations, so you don't get fired too easily, but you also don't have outrageous expectations. It modifies the finances a little, so you get a little bit less money from some things because EA by default gives you too much. And it creates realistic scenarios in that matter as well. He also plans to touch upon the Youth Academy a little bit more in the future, so that's great as well. And yeah, as I said, possibilities of modding are plenty, and it really shouldn't go under your radar that it is possible to be achieved, because it is. And as you can see, you can, as I mentioned, you can have kits, you can have scoreboards, tour of face mod. So Araujo doesn't have by EA face mod, but as you can see, this face mod is close to a face scan quality as well as Poro or Cassie, for example, or Pedri, Gavi. So it really enhances the experience, and you should definitely be aware that FIFA modding is possible. So that's for me today. I hope you liked what I had to say, and see you next time.